The best romantic movies of all time, from the old classics to the new classics. Here's a century of the greatest on-screen chemistry. By Justin Kirkland and Emma Carey, March 27, 2020. Shutterstock. As the saying goes, one person's crush is another person's cringe. No matter how hard we try as a society, humanity has always failed to reach a consensus on the rules of romance. Though many of us might agree that there should be some serious dos and don'ts to PDA on a crowded subway, overall it's for the best that we leave love unbridled. Luckily for us, the romantic film genre has followed suit. From comedy to drama, classic to quirky, and sappy to cynical, there's plenty of fish in the sea to find your romantic movie soulmate. If you're on the market, these iconic titles, along with a few new wild cards, will turn you into a Casanova in no time. Here are some of the most romantic movies ever made. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, 2004. Amazon iTunes. Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet star in this metaphysical journey of lost love, which follows the story of a split couple who both undergo a procedure to erase their memories of one another. The film boasts a classically Charlie Kaufman script, though if you're not one for the manic pixie dream girl trope, take a pass. Before Sunrise, 1995. Amazon iTunes. The first installment of the Before trilogy, Before Sunrise, follows the whimsical romance of a young man and woman who meet on a train and decide to take off for one night in Vienna. A perfect ode to love strained by limits, this film will leave you reeling, and relieved to know there's more where it came from. Advertisement, continue reading below. Shakespeare in Love, 1998. Amazon iTunes. The title says it all. What can be more romantic than a love affair involving famed playwright William Shakespeare at the time he pens the iconic Romeo and Juliet? A forbidden romance and period piece with a side of vintage Gwyneth Paltrow. Thank us later. Shape of Water, 2017. Amazon iTunes. If you know anything about Guillermo del Toro, then you know better than to ever try to predict what the fantastical director's take on a love story would be. Besides, of course, that it will be more beautiful and unique than you could ever imagine. Shape of Water tells the tale of Eliza, a mute woman who works as a cleaning lady at a government laboratory, as she finds herself falling in love with the lab's top-secret specimen, an amphibious creature. This film is a true testament that love comes in all shapes and sizes. Advertisement, continue reading below. Slumdog Millionaire, 2008. Amazon iTunes. Directed by Danny Boyle, Slumdog Millionaire follows Jamal Malik, from his childhood as an orphan to ending up one question away from winning India's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Perhaps the most moving plot point of Malik's against-all-odds journey is that he lives with the sole determination of one day reuniting with his childhood love, Radhika. The film is as visually dazzling as it is emotionally gripping, boasting the incredible feature debut of Dev Patel. Titanic, 1998. 20th Century Fox. Amazon iTunes. It's hard to top being king of the world. Titanic sets the bar incredibly high for romantic epics. The only issue we have is that there was definitely room on that door, but someone had to sprawl out and get cozy. The Big Sick, 2017. Apatow Productions. Amazon iTunes. Kumail Nanjiani and Emily V. Gordon's real-life hospital romance-turned-movie is one of the most original and thoughtful romances in years. In the face of tragedy, an estranged couple grows closer somehow by one of them being in a coma. Also, Holly Hunter is the best mum. Advertisement, continue reading below. Moonstruck, 1987. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Amazon iTunes. Snap out of it. The film that stars Nicolas Cage and Cher helped lock in Cher's long-deserved Oscar. The perfect Italian-American film set in New York, Moonstruck is a late 80s classic. Call Me by Your Name, 2017. Sony Pictures. Amazon iTunes. That peach scene is something else. The Luca Guadagnino directed film perfectly encapsulates the feelings of first love and love lost in a beautiful Italian setting. Bonus points, CMBYN is the rare gay love story where someone doesn't get beaten or end up with HIV. Silver Linings Playbook, 2012. Weinstein Co. Amazon iTunes. The first real entry of the Cooper Lawrence film trio, Silver Linings Playbook, is the story of what happens when perfectly flawed people find love together. The film also won Lawrence her first Oscar, and that's pretty outstanding for a picture loosely categorized as a romantic comedy. Advertisement, continue reading below. Dirty Dancing, 1987. Vestron. Amazon iTunes. Young love set in the Catskills, perfectly punctuated with an iconic 80s movie dance lift? Romance gold. Love and Basketball, 2000. New Line Cinema. Amazon iTunes. Love and Basketball is one of the ultimate sports movies. It just so happens to also be one of the ultimate romances, too. As two friends start establishing themselves as true basketball stars, they fall for each other, but their respective careers may keep them apart. Elizabethtown, 2005. Warner Bros. Amazon iTunes. Elizabethtown is quirky and cosmetically indie, but it's still a sweetly thoughtful romance wrapped up in existentialism. Orlando Bloom is the perfect working guy finding his roots again, and Kirsten Dunst is nothing if not the poster child for manic pixie dream girls. Advertisement, continue reading below. The Bodyguard, 1992. Paramount Amazon iTunes. The chemistry between Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner is a disaster, but something about the security guard pop star dynamic works. It also has one of the most iconic soundtracks in film history. Carol, 2015. Weinstein Co. Amazon iTunes. Who doesn't love a lesbian love story adorned with mid-century forbidden temptation and department store customer service that can't be beat?